Grammar, Episode 5, The Antecedent Strikes Back. So, today we're going to talk about, with our antecedent strikes back, pronoun and antecedent agreement. So, to start that, let's look at an example. The planet made its orbit around the sun. The first thing you need to know is that it is our pronoun in this sentence. You can remember from the first video what a pronoun is, that it takes the place of a noun. Now, an antecedent, if you don't remember what that is, planet is our antecedent here, and what an antecedent is it is whatever that the pronoun is referring to. It's called an antecedent. You see this prefix ante right there, means before. So, pronoun and whatever it's referring to is called the antecedent. So, in this one, the planet made its orbit, that it is talking about the planet. Now, when we talk about agreement, we have to have our antecedent agree in number with our pronoun. So if we have a singular antecedent, like planet, we have to have a singular pronoun. It's pretty easy right here, but it can get more difficult. So for our next one, Han and Leia profess their love for one another. Here you see, there is our pronoun, and it's referring to Han and Leia. They're our antecedents. So we have a plural antecedent, and we need a plural pronoun. So let's get into some rules about pronoun antecedent agreement so that you can use them correctly. First, interrupters. So I know this has nothing to do with Star Wars, but I'm getting a little bit tired of the Star Wars theme, so there you go. So Kanye is an interrupter, and the room full of celebrities paused in its disbelief. What we need to know about interrupters is that what it's referring to is anything that comes in between the antecedent and the pronoun. Right here's our pronoun, and back there's our antecedent. So right here, again, like I said, it is our pronoun. The room is our antecedent. Now we have full of celebrities here. We should cross that out in order to make sure that we know that room is our antecedent. Otherwise, when you say the room full of celebrities, you have a tendency to want to use a plural pronoun because it goes with the plural number of celebrities in the room. But remember that room is what you're referring to, not the celebrities. So it needs to be a singular pronoun. So remember that if you're having trouble with this, look for the antecedent and try to cross out anything that comes in between, anything that interrupts the antecedent from the pronoun to make sure that you get to the correct antecedent. Next, indefinite pronouns. And we worked with these a little bit when we talked about subject-verb agreement. So, here's Luke, can't tell if, singular or plural. These can be a little tricky. So, there's a few that are pretty easy. Several, few, both, or many are obviously plural because the words refer to a number of things. So, several should admit that they took the cookie from the cookie jar. We have our antecedent, which is several, and it refers to many people, so our pronoun they is plural. Right there, our antecedent and our pronoun. Now here are some that are going to be singular. Just like in the subject-verb agreement video, we have these same ones with one, body, and thing that are going to be singular. Here, somebody should admit that he took the cookie from the cookie jar. So even though, here's something that you will always get tripped up on. Even though in this sentence we don't know if the person is a he or a she, you have to have a singular pronoun because somebody refers to one person, so you have to have a singular pronoun. Now you can say he or she. Somebody should admit that he or she took the cookie from the cookie jar. Commonly people just refer back to he. If you want to be proactive and feminist, you can say somebody should admit that she took the cookie from the cookie jar, other than you're blaming a woman for taking the cookie. So there are different ways you can approach that, but you cannot say they. Somebody should admit that they took the cookie from the cookie jar. Facebook is teaching you poorly on this because Facebook doesn't want to go through and determine the gender for everybody. On a lot of posts, they'll say they for a singular person. Make sure that you don't do this. This is incorrect. Always use he or she or one or the other. So there's our singular antecedent and our singular pronoun. So moving on, compound antecedents. So here we have two monsters from Star Wars, the Rancor and the Wampa. So the Rancor and the Wampa hunched in their lairs. So just like with subject-verb agreement, compound antecedents and compound subjects in that case are the same. So we have the Rancor and the Wampa joined by the coordinating conjunction and. So that makes this, both of these are antecedents, and it makes it plural, even though each one individually is singular. So that's why we have the plural pronoun there. Now when we have or, remember it's different when you have or. So the Rancor or the Wampa could crush you with his arms. So the Wampa, you go, just like with subject-verb agreement, go with the one closest to your pronoun, and it should be his. His is the pronoun we use. It is singular, unless it's a female Wampa, then you could have said she or her, but you cannot say the Rancor or the Wampa could crush you with their arms. It is a singular pronoun because you have or here, which implies a choice of one or the other. With and, you can use a plural. Now, collective nouns. The team of fearless warriors destroyed the Death Star with its crafty tactics. This one can be tricky too. Just like with subject-verb agreement, you have a collective noun antecedent. Team is one team. Even though we have fearless warriors, which is plural, we have one team that we're referring to, so we have to have a singular pronoun, it's, referring to the team. You can basically cross out this prepositional phrase, the team destroyed the Death Star with its crafty tactics. That would help you. So there's an example of a collective noun and an interrupter getting in the way of making sure that you know that the singular collective noun needs to have a singular pronoun. Remember that a collective noun from the last video is a noun that refers to several different people or things, but is singular in meaning. And last, we have special cases. So if you want to get this joke, watch Crash Course World History. But special cases, these are a few different things I want to go through with you that can trip you up. So titles, like the Grapes of Wrath, and of course this should be italicized, but there's no way for me to do that on this program. So the Grapes of Wrath, even though it's plural because it is several grapes, it is actually singular because it is one title. So the Grapes of Wrath was sitting on its shelf. So we have a singular pronoun there. Every or many a. These both take singular pronouns. Many a girl wishes she played Leia. So even though many sounds like you would have plural, because this many a here, it's referring to a singular individual. So it takes a singular pronoun. Now the number of versus a number of. So the number of people who have seen Star Wars increases its ranks daily. The number of takes a singular pronoun because it's referring to a singular number. A number of refers to several different people or things. A number of Star Wars viewers attacked the mall. Now this one doesn't have a pronoun, but you can see that a number of is going to be plural, and the number of is going to be singular, so it's going to need a singular pronoun. Alright, so remember all of that about antecedent and pronoun agreement, and we will work on that tomorrow.